Most people think peptides are about what you inject. They are wrong. What actually determines whether Sermorelin works and whether it's safe, it's what's happening inside your blood before you even start. If you don't know your growth hormone axis, your metabolic markers, your inflammation, and your insulin sensitivity, you are guessing. And medicine should never guess. Today, I'm going to show you exactly which blood test matters before starting Sermorelin, which one keeps you safe, and which one proves whether it's actually improving your health. I'm Jay Patel, certified PA. This channel is about real metabolic medicine, hormones, peptides, weight loss, and longevity, explained without hype. Remember, this video is educational only. No medical advice, no prescribing, and no dosing. But if you're serious about using Sermorelin intelligently, this is the most important video you can watch. So why blood work matters with Sermorelin? Sermorelin doesn't force growth hormone. It restores signaling, which means your body's baseline matters. If your pituitary, liver, thyroid, insulin, or inflammation are off, your response will be different. Blood work tells the story. Here are core safety labs. This must be checked. These labs are not optional. They tell you whether it is safe to stimulate the growth hormone axis. Number one is IGF-1 level. This reflects long-term growth hormone output. Low IGF-1 suggests reduced growth hormone signaling. High IGF-1 may indicate excess growth hormone activity or other issue. Fasting blood glucose level. Growth hormone affects blood sugar regulation. Fasting insulin. High insulin blocks growth hormone effects. A1C shows long-term glycemic control. CMP, that has liver and kidney function. Sermorelin relies on normal liver function for IGF production. Thyroid panel. Thyroid dysfunction blocks growth hormone activity. So why insulin level and thyroid function matters? Growth hormone works poorly in insulin resistance. It also requires thyroid hormone to activate metabolism. If these aren't optimized, Sermorelin cannot do its job. Here are the labs for additional safety screening. Number one is prolactin level. Elevated level of prolactin suppresses growth hormone release. Cortisol. Chronically high cortisol blocks anabolic signaling, CBC, to rule out hematologic abnormalities. Now let's talk about some optional labs but high value labs. These are not required for safety but are extremely useful. High sensitive C-reactive protein. This measures inflammation. Apolipoprotein B. This measures cardiovascular risk. Triglyceride and HDL reflects metabolic health. Liver enzyme and ferritin. This one is important because growth hormone affects liver fat and iron metabolism. So why this lab test matters? It's because Sermorelin improves fat metabolism, insulin sensitivity, inflammation, liver fat, cardiovascular risk. If you don't measure this, you can prove the progress. Here are some brain and recovery markers that can be tested prior to starting Sermorelin. Number one is vitamin D. Supports growth hormone signaling. Vitamin B12 and folate. Supports tissue repair and energy. Now, after starting the Sermorelin therapy, you should also get follow-up testing to show whether it's working or not. IGF-1 level. IGF-1 level should raise into a healthy age-adjusted range. Fasting insulin level. This should improve after starting Sermorelin for a few months. Triglyceride should decrease. High sensitive C-reactive protein should fall. Body composition. Lean muscle mass should increase or be preserved, at least if you are in the weight loss phase. So raising the IGF-1 level is not the only goal. High IGF-1 alone doesn't mean a better health. The goal is better sleep, better recovery, better metabolic markers, and better body composition. Blood work must match how the patient feels. So this labs prevents using Sermorelin in a wrong patient, masking insulin resistance, missing thyroid dysfunction, ignoring inflammation, creating unrealistic expectation. This is how medicine stays safe. So why people fail with Sermorelin? Not because the peptide is weak, because the foundation is broken. Blood work tells you where to fix it. Functional medicine uses labs differently. We don't just look for diseases. We look for dysfunction. Sermorelin works best when dysfunction is corrected. Peptides doesn't work in isolation. They work in system, and blood work is how you see the system. If you want Sermorelin to work and to work safely, labs comes first. If this video helped you understand how real peptide therapy works, subscribe for more information. If someone you know is thinking about peptide, share this, and if you want a real science-backed metabolic education, stay here and I'll see you in the next video.